Often I'll get asked, can my child talk to the judge? I want my child to talk to the judge. And that comes up when you're litigating, not when you're mediating with divorce mediation centers, because that's just never comes up in mediation. But one thing I want to make clear to all people in Texas who have children and are going through divorce, that your child does not get to decide where he's going to live, who he's going to live with, and what the rules are going to be for wherever it is he lives. There's only one person when you're litigating a divorce case that gets to make that decision, and that's the judge. Now, the judge has to talk to a child who is 12 years or older about where they want to live and why they want to live there. That's what the statute says. What judges have told me is that they hate to have to interview a child. There are a few that are different. There are a few judges that, and I won't name any names because I happen to know who they are, that like to talk to the children and like to interview them. But they rarely, even those judges, do not ask that question. Who do you want to live with and why? They don't ask that question. They just get them talking. They may play games with them back there, and you don't get to be there, and your lawyer doesn't get to be there. You never get to know what they said, because judges will rarely tell the parents what the child said. If a judge is asked to interview younger children, they can, but they don't have to, and most judges are going to say no. If a child is 15, 16 years old, very articulate, very clear on what and why, a judge will be more influenced by that, but I can guarantee you most judges aren't going to do what a 12-year-old tells them to do, so don't count on that. And the worst thing you can do is influence or try to influence what your child is going to say in front of that judge. It is my opinion, after years and years and years of doing family law, that unless a child is at least 14 or 15 years old, they should not be asked to talk to a judge. It's just too hard. Think of the guilt a child is going to feel if things don't go the way the child said, or if they do go the way the child and the other parent is upset. You do not want to put your child in that situation, even if you think it's the only way to get what you want. What you really want is for your child to grow up to be a healthy, happy adult with two parents that he or she can love and invite to everything without having to worry about having done something that now their dad doesn't love them anymore, or their mom doesn't love them anymore because of what they said to the judge. You do not want that. That's why family law is so different from other areas of law. You have a contract dispute, you go to court, judge rules, it's done, you're done. Not so in family law. You continue to be a family forever. As long as you are alive, you are that child's parent. And what happens during divorce will affect that child until that child dies. It'll affect how they parent their children. It'll affect how they choose a spouse. It affects everything in their lives. And I assure you, if you really sit down and have an honest conversation with any judge, any therapist, any lawyer who does family law, they're all going to tell you that if they're really being honest with you. At divorce mediation centers, we try to do just that. We try to be very honest with you about all of these things. So kind of get it out of your head. And I have some more stories I could tell you about kids being interviewed by judges. So, and they aren't all good. There's some stories that I could tell that would frighten you on that issue. So be sure you give it a lot of thought before you ever make that decision to have a child interviewed.